Welcome to the Metal Bob Live Podcast. I am your host, Metal Bob. Today's show is brought to you by Legend Picks. That's LEGENDPICKS.com. Visit Legend Picks for all your custom guitar pick needs. And also artist Jeremiah Kalleck. You can find him on Instagram at JJKALLECK. There you can find his art, videos, and more. Links to our sponsors are listed in the episode description. On today's show, I had the honor of talking with guitarist Billy Morris, formerly of Warrant, and Paul Gilbert. We discuss his food business, smoke and rock and roll, and also Billy reflects back on many great stories. So sit back, have a listen, and enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello, Billy.
Billy Morris here. Am I calling the right time?
You are, buddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing real good. Glad to be with you.
Well, I'm glad you took time out of your day, man. I really appreciate it.
Are we live?
Well, I'm going to record it, and then we're going to post it here in about a week.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, man. So how's everything going?
Well, honestly, off the record for me, this thing's working out because, I got the food trucks,
Yeah.
And all the restaurants around my area closed, and I opened up the food truck for walk-up, take-out, barbecue to go, and the business is great, and none of the restaurants can even buy food from the distributors, so the price is going down. So it's a win-win for me. The only thing that I'm not doing is playing out in my cover band on the weekends, but I'm okay with that because, it's a long story. But I'm kind of overplaying, every Friday and Saturday night, every stupid 80s cliche, Jesse's Girl Summer 69, every Friday and Saturday night. So that's it in a nutshell.
Right on. Well, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about smoke and rock and roll, man?
All right, so we're going?
Yes, sir.
Are we talking? We're live? We're taping?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, smoke and rock and roll. So it's a food truck and catering company that I am partners with Todd Chason of the band Tough. And so years ago, I'd come home from gigs at my mom's house in the country, and I'd pull in, 2 in the morning. I would light up the barbecue. I'd be under the stars barbecuing food, and I kind of thought to myself, man, I kind of like this cooking thing, and I'm a rocker, so I'm going to start a catering company that is a food and an entertainment company. So first I smoke for you the smoked food, the brisket, the pork, and the chicken, and then I walk over to the stage and I rock for you. So it's smoke and rock and roll. And that's basically, I came up with that idea under the stars of Columbia Station, Ohio, years ago. So from that, I bought a trailer smoker that I could go with my Jeep, and I started doing parties with my band, and I would smoke. And I'm a wheeler dealer, so I'm always on Craigslist looking for deals. And I found this big panel truck from the Cleveland Public Library, and I bought it. And $40,000 later, I owned a food truck and a smoker. Well, I wasn't done there. I had to have dessert, so I had a custom trailer built the same height as the food truck, and I towed that behind the truck, and now I have ice cream and shaved ice behind the truck. And all the graphics are the same from the same artist. I have an artist down in Atlanta that does all of my artwork, so it's cool. I just told him, I said, look, his name's Noel. I said, Noel, just think, I want a pig, I want barbecue, I want him playing a guitar, and I want you to think the band Kiss. And he came up with this pig character. His name's Shredder. He's playing a guitar on the side of the truck with a flaming guitar pick, and it's been super successful. Now, I wasn't done. I had a food truck, and I had a dessert trailer. I was on Craigslist again, and I was looking for speakers, PA speakers, and I came across this ad that said, large venue PA with truck. I clicked on it, I'm like, I want that truck. And it was loaded with PA speakers, so I bought that, and I made a macaroni and cheese truck called the Smoke and Rock and Roll Mac Truck. So that's the food truck business in a nutshell, and we're doing really well locally now. The weather's getting a little better. We've opened up outside of our shop for walk-up barbecue, so the neighborhood can walk up and get it. The social distancing thing. We've got marks on the pavement, 6 feet apart, so they all stand 6 feet away from each other, and it's kind of taking care of my family now that I can't play any gigs locally because all the bars and all the gigs shut down. So that's a quick thing in a nutshell right there.
Right. Now, how long have you been doing this now?
This is our 5th year of food trucking. Like I said, Todd and I started off just with a trailer, a smoker trailer. Then we built the first truck, and we're going on our 5th year right now.
Right on.
So currently, right now, as we're talking, I've got 7 briskets on the smoker that will smoke overnight. I'll come in tomorrow morning and chop them all up, and we'll open up for business right outside of Cleveland, Ohio, in a little city called Bay Village. Currently, I am looking at Lake Erie right now. I'm right on the lake. So we got a nice little town here. Everybody knows us and knows we're the food truck barbecue company. So they all kind of walk up and pull up. And we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4 to 7. Got specials every day. Obviously, we have our Taco Tuesday and our Wing Wednesday and Rib Thursday, and it's fun because it's just like it's a good thing to be able to help everybody out with, providing good food. You can only go through a fast food drive-through so many times. So
absolutely. So
and our location, smokinrockandroll.com, where we're located at, our building, the back half of the storefront is the prep area for the trucks. So we've got our coolers back there, we've got our sinks back there, and our freezers and our prep tables. And then right outside the back door is our smokers. We smoke outside, and then the trucks are parked back there. But the front half of it is my recording studio. It's called Audio Bay. I believe audiobaystudios.com and Audio Bay Studios on Facebook. You can see pictures of it. But I had this big room. I was kind of like thinking, it's too big just for the truck, so I better build a little recording studio up front. And a year later, we do live broadcasts over the internet, and it's a killer little recording studio. And now that you brought it up, I'm doing all the talking.
No, you're good.
Now that you brought it up, now that we have all this downtime, I'm in the middle of writing and demoing for my next record. I always say record when it should be saying digital release, because you can't even say CD anymore. It's so many times. Yeah, our new cassette's going to be out. I've been through it, 45, then cassette, then CD. Now it's digital release. But anyways, I'm writing songs and demoing songs for my next release, which should be out by the end of the year. And that's wishful thinking, knowing how fast I work on stuff.
Now, this is going to be a Billy Morris band release?
So I've done Billy Morris. Like, it's all me. I had one back in about 2005 that was called the Billy Morris Band. It was really good. I thought, everybody thinks their kids are really good, so that was one of my kids. I thought it was really good. And then I just did a recent one with High Vol Music called the Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip. Bill Chavis of High Vol Music was kind of thinking, I kind of want to, Billy Morris and kind of like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and my band in Cleveland is called Sunset Strip, so we called this one Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip, and it's called Holding All the Aces, and that's the latest one out. But this next one, and breaking news, you heard it here first. This one's going to be called, and hear me out here. It's going to be called Billy. It's going to say on the cover, it's going to say Billy Morris, and in big white letters, it's going to say Legend. All right, but underneath Legend, in small letters, it's going to say In His Own Zip Code, and that's a tribute to Janie Lane. He always would introduce me on stage. He'd be like, "All right, on lead guitar, a legend in his own zip code, and Billy Morris." And I always thought that was so funny and cute and everything. So when you look at the CD cover or the web page, whatever, from far away, it's going to say Billy Morris Legend. But as you look closer, it'll say In His Own Zip Code right underneath it. So
that's great.
What it's going to be.
That's great. So yeah, a lot of people probably do know, and maybe some people don't know, that you were in Warrant for quite a long time.
Well, I was in Warrant for about 5 years. Very proud of it. I had a long talk with one of my friends today saying that, I made it. I wanted to be in the band Warrant. That was the band that I wanted to be in, and I got to be the lead guitar player in Warrant. That was like from 1999 to 2005. And those 5 years we did a summer tour with Poison, summer tour with Whitesnake, a summer tour on the Rock Never Stops tour with Dokken, Rat, Warrant, Firehouse, and LA Guns. and a ton of, one-off gigs on the weekends. We'd fly out, and I met so many. Oh, I got to tour with that Poison. I don't know what tour it was. I forget, but it was Quiet Riot. It might have been the Poison tour. I got to meet Quiet Riot. And sidebar to that, after the Warrant thing kind of was over, Janie Lane quit Warrant, and he did a solo tour with Kevin Dubrow called the Bad Boys of Metal. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's actually where I first met you. Was in Davenport, Iowa.
Okay.
Over there.
Was Kevin Dubrow was I on that with Janie and Kevin Dubrow?
Yes, you were playing guitar for both bands.
There you go. Well, that's what I was just saying. I got to meet Quiet Riot. So I remember, this was a great story, and so we're driving from city to city in a big extended van, and it's me and Kevin up front, and Janie and the backup band in the back, and the backup band just sloshed out of their mind, and they're all passed out. Everyone's sleeping, and I'm driving, and Kevin is in the passenger seat, and he doesn't even say a word. He just flips open his flip phone, because this is 2005, flip phone, dials a number, and this is verbatim what he said. Frankie, we're putting Quiet Riot back together. Billy Morris is going to play guitar. From 10 rows back, you won't know it's Carlos. Or you won't know that it's not Carlos, And that's how Quiet Riot reformed, because they weren't together. And our first gig with Quiet Riot and Frankie back in Quiet Riot was the Orlando Hard Rock Cafe, I think. Don't quote me. But it was so cool because, Frankie came out, and we didn't even practice. We just played the gig. And I remember Pat Travers came out. So not only am I playing flipping guitar for Quiet Riot with Kevin and Frankie, they're inviting Pat Travers. Now I'm shredding leads back and forth with one of my guitar heroes, Pat Travers. It was amazing. So I could probably talk all night and keep telling stories if I keep thinking about them, but that's one of the sidebars of being in Warrant.
Awesome. Yeah, you you did some great things with Warrant. You guys, you even recorded a couple albums with them, and
yeah, we did that under the influence. How cool was that? So we were the band knew that they needed to put another record out, and that we really couldn't get Janie to get in the studio to record a full length record. So we just figured, well, let's do a cover record. So it took us about a month to complete, and Janie and I and Mike Cassano did like the basic rhythm tracks in a little studio I had in Parma, Ohio, the home of Drew Carey. And then we sent out the tracks to Jerry Dixon and Eric Turner. They put their parts on, and then I mixed it, and the rest is history. I'm really proud of it. And another side story was we were recording. We had picked the songs out on tour with the band, and everybody got to pick a couple songs. And one of the songs that I picked was "Down Payment Blues" by AC/DC. So we finish one song, and we go to sing Down Payment Blues. And I'm like, all right, Janie, go get in the vocal booth. Let's go sing the song. And he's like, fuck it. You sing it. I'm going to go get something to eat. So I knew that there was my chance. So he left. I hit record, and I ran in the vocal booth, and I sang it like 3 or 4 times and kind of got the performance that I wanted. And that's what's on the record.
Nice. Yeah, you guys had some good songs. I remember you covering the Michael Monroe song, Dead Jail Rock and Roll, if I'm not mistaken.
Totally, dude. Yeah, I remember when that song came out, my band Kid Wicked played that song, Dead Jail Rock and Roll, by Michael Monroe. We played that song, so I'm like, dude, you gotta listen to this tune. And honestly, Janie didn't care. I actually one of us picked Love Is Like Oxygen by Sweet. And it was killer. We started recording it, and we got to the mellow part where it breaks down. He's like, "Fuck this! I'm not singing this." So that song didn't get tracked or recorded. But it was a good time, good memories. I'm part of it. My name's on it. I'm proud of it.
Absolutely, you should be. It was a great album, man. There were some good songs. Hollywood. I remember Hollywood being on there. That Thin Lizzy tune. Yeah,
sometimes when I'm driving, I'll go on Spotify or Napster or whatever I pay for, and I'll listen to that record, and it stands the test of time. It rocks. And it was just thrown together. I don't mean that it was thrown together like haphazardly, but it was just like, hey, this is a cover record. Let's just rock out, have a good time, drink some beers, and record a record. And that's what it was all about.
Absolutely, yeah. There was the collaboration of songs on there. You guys picked some good ones, man, and did a great job on all of them.
Thank you so much.
So one thing that I'm really interested in too, that a lot of people may not know about you, is you played with Paul Gilbert.
Yes. So I knew Janie Lane. I mean, we were friends, like, I wouldn't say as teenagers, but like, he moved away and he came back on a Christmas vacation, and that's how I met Janie Lane. And we were friends. And this was when Warrant just came out, and this leads up to the Paul Gilbert thing. And I followed Warrant through Dirty Rotten, Filthy Stinkin' Rich, and Cherry Pie, and the Machine Gun record, and what's the name of that record? The third record.
Dog Eat Dog.
Dog Eat Dog. Yeah, I'm sorry. And he knew that I wanted to be the guy. I wanted to be in the band Warrant, and the timing was never right. But I think I opened up his eyes when I got a call from Paul Gilbert. I got an email. I wish I saved it, and I didn't, but I wish I did. I got a call from Paul Gilbert saying, hey, I'm going to go to Japan and Korea on my solo tour, and I heard that you can play guitar really good, and you can sing the high harmonies that I need, and you got long hair. This was when long hair was still in style. He goes, but you have to wear a funny suit, and the pay's not that good. So if Wayne Newton calls you for a gig, you should probably take that. But if you're interested, call me back. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. So, yeah, I got to go. I got to fly to Vegas. First, I learned all the songs. And I did a lot of the songs over the phone with Paul. Because you don't just learn. For me, I just don't learn those licks. Like, there's these sick-ass guitar licks that he would give me a guitar list. And this was before Skype and all this stuff. So he would talk to me, and we'd play over the phone. So I came out there pretty prepared, and we did 2 or 3 weeks of really serious practicing to do this tour. And it wasn't a typical band practice. We all sat in a circle. So it was Paul Gilbert, Jeff Martin on drums, Billy Morris lead guitar, Scotty Johnson lead guitar, and Mike Zuder on bass. Do you know Mike Zuder?
Yes.
He's the one that got me the gig, because me and him are best friends. But it wasn't like the band was jamming in a room at top volume like most bands do. We all sat in a circle and put headphones on. And because the vocal parts were, this wasn't a Race Wreck style tour. Now, granted, there was some scary, terrifying guitar leads and guitar battles on stage, but this was more of a vocal harmony, melodic song thing. It was for a record that he did called Flying Dog. And so we had to work these harmonies out. There were sometimes 5-part harmonies. And then when we went out to Japan, we sound checked live as a band and did these crazy sound checks to get all these harmonies perfect. And that's another thing that I'm proud of. So there's a live record by Paul Gilbert and a live DVD. Oh, the live record's called Beehive Live. And the live DVD was like 11,000 notes or something. Yep. But you can go on YouTube and find some stuff. And the funny thing is that you'll watch it, and it's 99% shots of Paul Gilbert, which it should be. It's Paul Gilbert, and like little sprinklings of the rest of the backing band. But I'm proud and happy to have done that. So, yeah,
that's great, man. I'm sure that was a heck of a good time.
Oh, well, here's another funny story nobody knows about. So, this was before I joined Warrant, but I was friends with the guys in Warrant for a long, since the beginning. And I became friends with James Kotek because he became the drummer of Warrant after Kingdom Come. So me and him have a lot of stories, which I'll tell you. Maybe we'll get to those on another interview. But so I'm on the other side of the planet in Korea getting ready to play. And I'm walking around this, you set up and sound check or you're setting up and I have all this downtime. So I'm walking around the halls of this arena. It's like a big basketball or something arena. And I'm just walking and I see in the distance, this guy's walking towards me. And I'm walking, I look at him like, James Kotek? He's like, Billy, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, we're playing here. So at that show, I didn't even know it, but the Scorpions were playing with Paul Gilbert. And it was such an honor, you know, not only to play with James because he was one of my friends, but to be able to share the stage with the Scorpions. I mean, come on, who didn't rock Blackout out at top volume in their Camaro in high school, you know?
Absolutely.
But the coolest part was they were using our gear, so the Scorpions opened for me.
There you go.
How funny is that?
Yeah, and what a great live band, man. That band is awesome live.
Well, yeah, and when James was in the band, they played Cleveland, and I Facebooked him, like, dude, I'm coming. He's like, come on early. So I got there early, hung out with them, took some of my buddies there that were Scorpions freaks. Everybody got to meet each other, so it was a fun time.
That's great, man. So yeah, you've played. I know you've been in Tough. You've done quite a bit of stuff. You've played with Warrant, Tough. I mean, Paul,
I got another one for you.
Paul Gilbert. Okay.
I think after Paul Gilbert, before Warrant, Jamie St. James from Black and Blue moved to Cleveland. He met a girl, Lisa Axelrod, a former girlfriend of mine. He met this girl, moved back with her to Cleveland, bought a house, and when he got to Cleveland, he started asking around, hey, I want to put a band together. Who should I play with? And everyone's like, you need to meet Billy Morse. So I got a call from one of my friends saying, hey, Jamie St. James is going to come watch you play tonight. I think he's going to ask me to be in the thing. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to be in a band. So we started a band called St. James. No, The Beautiful Things. I don't know. Something. Beautiful Things, I think it was. And he dressed me up in a gold suit. He goes, you're the golden boy. You're the golden wonder boy. I'm like, cool. He had this gold suit made for me. I still have it. And I wore a gold suit, and we played a mixture of originals that me and him wrote, mainly Jamie, and then a sprinkling of Black and Blue tunes.
Okay.
And it didn't really take off. And this is like 99, 98, 99. It didn't really take off. So he was like, fuck it, we're calling it Black and Blue. And we did a little East Coast tour with Black and Blue and Keel, Ron Keel. And so I got to, play some of those Black and Blue tunes that I grew up, that was 84, 85 when Black and Blue came out.
Right.
I remember buying that vinyl at the shop in Berea, just buying it on the album cover alone. Because back in the day, you go through the bin and like, this band Black and Blue looks pretty cool, and then you put it on and you're blown away, and you're happy because the week before you bought some crappy band like Pandemonium or something, and oh, this sucks. So I loved Black and Blue, loved Jamie St. James. So I got to play with him. I mean, we still call each other. He's in my phone as the Saint,
Right.
And he refers to me as the Prince.
Yeah,
because
nice.
we like, yeah. And we call each other on birthdays and keep in touch. And the last time I physically saw him, we played the Monsters of Rock together, the Monster Rock cruise ship together. So I was with Tough. He was at Black and Blue. And it's so cool to run back into him.
Nice. And that's where Tommy Thayer, he came out of Black and Blue. That's didn't Gene Simmons help?
One of the first shows I played with was Warrant, Rat, and LA Guns at the Hollywood House of Blues on Sunset Strip. And in the crowd was Tommy Thayer. And he came out there to see me because Jamie told him to come out. And he was a gentleman, very nice guy. It's the only time I ever met him. And I told him it was, an honor to play those songs that he wrote in Black and Blue, and it was cool. But another guy was Bruce Kulick from Kiss.
Nice. And
I'm a rock fan first, So I'm like, oh my God, Bruce Kulick, man. I played that in Warrant, man. Did you check this out? What do you think? And he was a total, kind of not a super dick, but he could have been a little nicer to me, I thought.
Right.
But he's Bruce Kulick, so he can be a dick if you want. He's Bruce Kulick.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, man. Well, now, Gene Simmons, correct me if I'm wrong, produced the first Black and Blue record. Am I correct?
I think he produced...
Or he did
the first three.
The first three, okay.
Or four. No, if you listen to some of those Black and Blue songs, there's riffs. Like Nasty Nasty is a Kiss song.
Yeah.
The middle solo breakdown part, that's a total Kiss riff. Yeah, you can hear Gene Simmons all over those first four Black and Blue records, and that's how Tommy Thayer got close to them because he worked in the studio.
Right. And
dude, think of the songs Tommy Thayer wrote.
Yeah, and they were a Kiss tribute band at one time, weren't they? Jamie and...
Jamie was Peter Criss.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that was a long time ago, it seems like, but it don't really.
Yeah. So now that, fast forward to 2020, I'm living in Cleveland with 3 beautiful little boys, 8, 6, and 2. I have a trophy wife, I'm proud to say. I got a good life running these food trucks, and life is good.
Yeah.
I play locally in a cover band called Sunset Strip, and we sprinkle some originals in there. But it's kind of disheartening when you got a nice, good dance floor rocking out to like Summer '69 or Round and Round or Living on a Prayer, and like, all right, we're gonna play the first single off our CD. This is called Party Like the Weekend Never Ends, and you go into that song. And my few friends that do know the song love it, but most of the girls, no, I want you to play, Sweet Caroline. I don't play Sweet Caroline. You suck. So it's tough. That happened to me. I'm playing this Putin Bay. It's an island outside of off Lake Erie. It's an island. You have to take a ferry to it. And we're playing poolside. It's fun. There's bikinis everywhere. And this lady comes up and goes, "Can you play Sweet Caroline?" I'm like, "I don't play that song." "Don't, you suck." And
wow.
I'm not one. I'll go into D. Snyder mode over the microphone. I'm like, "I suck. What the fuck are you talking about?" Oh, I shouldn't swear.
You're good.
I called her out. When I felt bad. But you ever seen D. Snyder coming out of the show?
Oh, yeah. But that's awesome.
I saw him. Yeah, I think he Twisted Sister opening for Iron Maiden. They're in the middle of rocking. They're, stop, turn the fucking house lights on. This motherfucker in the front row sitting down. Everybody, stand up. So I got another good one. I'm giving you all my book. I'm going to write a book someday. I'm giving you all my book stories. You want to know the story?
Sure.
Want a D. Snyder story?
You're making my job easy, man. I'm just sitting here. I love it.
I had a cup of coffee before I got here. So I'm playing the Monterey Metal Festival, a Quiet Riot. Okay, and the lineup is, the opening band is Hatebreed, then Dokken, then Quiet Riot, then Dio, and then Twisted Sister. Okay, now let me back up a little bit. When Warrant played one tour where we were in like Connecticut or something, I walked on the tour bus and there's D. Snyder sitting on the Warrant bus, and I walked on. I'm like, "Oh, dude, D. Snyder, man. Welcome to the bus. I'm Billy Morris, lead guitar player. Nice to meet you." We talked for 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. I told him I had a rock club in Cleveland at the time. I owned a rock club. I told him a few things about myself. Billy Morris, nice to meet you. What an honor. I was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. Fast forward like 2 or 3 years later, I'm in Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico, for this festival, and it's like either the day before or the night of the show. We're all in like the catering area, and I'm in line behind D. Snyder. And he turns around and he looks at me. "Hey, Billy, how you doing? How's your club? How's life? Everything good?" Super gentleman, and I was shocked that he remembered my name and who I was. That's the kind of person, and that's why that man's successful, because he's sincere, and he showed me respect, and that's what it's all about.
Nice. That's great. That's a good story, man. Yeah,
that's a good story. Yeah.
And that guy, he's another one, man. Like every project he's ever done has just been ass kicking stuff, man. From Widowmaker, Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Desperado.
I saw Widowmaker at the NAMM show one time, like 1990, right? There was a little time when he was in Widowmaker. Al Petrelli, the guitar player, kicked ass. Al Petrelli's the man.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, he is. Now, he was Alice Cooper at one point, I believe.
Alice Cooper, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people was in Alice Cooper, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was in Alice Cooper, and I know he did some Trans-Siberian Orchestra stuff.
I got asked to audition for Alice Cooper. Well, I got offered to audition, but I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. I was done. Peter Sabatini was our tour manager on Warrant, and I think he took a job with Alice Cooper. I was like, "Hey, you should, I can get you this audition." That's how I was offered, because I knew the tour manager, but I didn't do it. I've been asked to join a handful of bands since then, and my life has changed. My life has changed for the better. I did it. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I said, "Dude, I made it. I joined the band that I wanted to be in. I wanted to be in the band Warrant with Janie Lane, and I got to be in that band. So, and I make really good money in my band now in Cleveland, and I have my recording studio, and most importantly, my family. And Todd Chason is like family to me, and the food truck business is very successful because of Todd. So to get on an airplane and leave Thursday through Sunday to go play some Indian reservation up in South Dakota, I don't need to do that anymore. That's why I don't join any of these other bands.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, having time for yourself's important, man, and your family and all that stuff's very important. So I understand. I get it.
And I bought a new dirt bike today. Very happy about this.
There you go.
I bought a KTM 150 XCW TPI. I want to see how many listeners know the bike that I just bought, and comment and tell me about the bike that I just bought. 2020 KTM 150 XCW TPI. The first person to identify what TPI stands for, I'll send them a free CD. I'll send them a WeTransfer link with about 60 of my songs over the years. How's that?
There you go. We'll see.
I'll send it to you anyways.
I appreciate that, man.
So, yeah, you know, and over the years, you know, like when I said I made it, you know, I joined the band that I wanted to, and I also got to play with and open for and share the stage with so many of my rock, you know, icons, idols that I followed. I played a lot of shows with David Lee Roth, whether it was with Warrant or it was with solo Billy Morris in Cleveland. I got to share the stage with Meatloaf. How's that? Meatloaf.
That's killer.
I got to share the stage, a big airfield in Tampa, with Leonard Skinner. And I got to stand inside the stage and watch Leonard Skinner play Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird. And for a Columbia Station hillbilly like me, granted, you know, everybody thinks I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I grew up about a half hour south in the sticks of this little town called Columbia Station. So, you know, I always describe myself as a flannel wearing, dirt bike riding, Labrador owning, you know, hillbilly. And to be able to stand on the side of the stage and watch Leonard, holy shit, amazing.
Absolutely. Good Lord, man. I tell you, man, them some good stories. I could sit here and listen to you talk all night. I swear I could. I love it.
I got
man.
a ton of them, and the more I talk, the more I remember.
I love it. I love it, man. I really do. Yeah. I'm going to definitely have to have you back on, though, man, because...
Oh, I'd love to. You know, are you playing any of the songs? Do you have it in my CD, or have any of the songs?
The new stuff?
Well, the Holding All the Aces CD, or release, or whatever you want to call it nowadays.
I have it downloaded somewhere, but yes, I do have it, and I can...
Yeah, so, like, if you want to spin some of those songs, like, my favorite song on there is Dressed Up Like a Millionaire. That's my favorite song.
All right.
But our hit single is Party Like the Weekend Never Ends. The album is called Holding All the Aces. That's a good song. Those are ripping guitar parts. There's an actual ballad on there called Cold and Bittersweet, which is the best ballad I've ever written and performed. And the vocal harmonies and the guitar solo and everything, it's just, to me, I'm telling you, it just hits me right in the heart. It's just, there's so much soul and feeling in that song. And listen to that song. If you're a fan of like 4-part vocal harmonies and ballads and ripping melodic, drenched with emotion guitar solos, that's the song. That's the ballad you want to listen to.
Well, if you're okay with it, man, I'll put some of the links up when I post this interview.
Dude, I'm okay with it. At this point, I will tell you my opinion on my CDs and my music. And of course I want to sell digital downloads. And of course I want to get money for what I do. I realize that this landscape of the music business is a lot different. I haven't bought a CD in years. And the most of the public don't buy CDs. Number one, new cars don't even come with CD players. New laptops don't come with CD players. So I have CDs that I burn in my studio, and I just give them to people. I want the people to have the music because they're either going to get it from me for free or they're not going to hear it. And if I give it to them for free and they listen to it, now I've created a friend and a fan and somebody that will follow me. So, yeah, if people want to send me a Facebook message or an email, I'll send people a link to a bunch of songs just to to become friends with people, and that's more important to me at this stage of my life than making $60 on selling 6 CDs. It just doesn't make sense.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, man, I'll make sure.
Well, there you have it.
I will make sure that I post some links to them songs so people can hear them, man. And is there anything else that you would like to promote or add at this time?
I think we've talked a lot, about some good history and stuff. Hey, we're doing. I'm talking to my chef here.
Oh, you're good.
7. I think that we covered a lot of fun stories and got to kind of get to know me through this conversation. And I guess, keep your eye open for the next release. But if you think you want to hear a bunch of stuff, find it. Send me a private message. And I'll send people stuff for free. I don't even care at this point. I just want the word to get out to everybody and have friends and meet people. And there's way more stories to talk about. So let's wrap it up with that, and we'll check back in a month or so, and we'll have another good conversation. I'll give you an update of what I'm doing.
Man, that would be really great, Billy. I appreciate you, man, for taking time.
You got it, man. Good talking.
Well,
Keep in touch.
Will do. You take care of yourself, man.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Yep,
you
bye-bye.
got it. Later.
That concludes today's show of the Metal Bob Live podcast. Please see our sponsor links, and thank you for listening. Metal Bob out.